You need to push your limits once in a while because it makes you feel alive.
Are we going to be zombies?
Sponsored by Red Bull, mostly.
Do you like
fun.
adrenaline rush?
I would say удача, but not fart.
Join together as a community,
Mhm.
unite in their stupidity.
Like,
You
there is
just
no rock,
eat
there is
some
nothing.
sand.
Need for speed, yeah.
Yes.
Speedy Gonzalez, yeah.
Many people, for example, are dreaming of going to, let's say, Chernobyl.
A special place where it can control the dog and it controls its behaviors. It's like the dog becomes like a zombie.
Next thing would be after COVID,
Yeah.
a rabies attack.
Maybe we can invent ice golf.
And I love watching videos on YouTube of SWAT teams raiding houses
yeah.
and dealing with domestic idiots.
I didn't know like how they appear, like just like this, fast, like lightning.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Big Apple School Podcast, where the goal of this show is to help you improve your English listening skills by listening to us. My name is Benjamin, and today I'm joined by three wonderful guests. And on my right, or on the left of the camera, if you're watching this episode, we have
Ayoub.
welcome Ayoub, welcome back. And then to my left, or to the right, if you're watching this, we have
Maria.
welcome and
I'm Ugur.
welcome
Ugur is
back.
here.
Welcome back, Sir Ur. It's great to have you back.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thanks. Thank you.
So what's new this week? Spring is coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Phil, this guy from the American town, said that there will be 6 more weeks of winter.
6 more weeks of winter.
This,
Fair enough.
what is the name of this animal? Groundhog.
Oh, yes, the groundhog.
Yeah, so
A woodchuck.
Well, speaking of animals, I have a pet rabbit, as some of our listeners know, and springtime means fur everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe you have a cat as well, Maria,
Mhm.
don't you?
yeah. Well, yeah, for him, fur is everywhere all year round. So it's like spring all year round.
It's a year-round adventure. Yes. What about for you? So I heard that you walked around the market this week and you encountered a really funny word.
Yeah. I was like walking and I had to do some stuff there. Then I was walking with my fiance and I saw like, now I can read like Russian letters. And I read it as it was written, fart, like fart. And it was a barber shop. So I was like really wondering about the meaning of this word in Russian. Because if you say it in English, of course, it's super funny and I couldn't handle. But keep it like, I just kept laughing and yeah.
So basically, well, I believe, Maria, because
Yeah.
you're the native Russian speaker, I believe it means luck.
Yeah, luck.
Luck. So
But I wouldn't probably use this word in my everyday speech. So I would say удача, but not fart.
So is it slang or something? Slang?
It is kind of slang, or probably it is a bit outdated.
there's not a Russian tradition. If you fart, it's good luck.
I don't know of this superstition.
I don't know why in that moment Homer Simpson came to my mind, you know? Homer Simpson.
Oh,
From
yes,
The
of
Simpsons.
course, yeah.
Fart. Yeah.
Yeah, because they called him Big Fart.
Big fart.
Well, maybe that's where the name Bart came from.
Bart, fart, yeah.
Fart is
It rhymes.
this little fart.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yes, that was, you found that at the Central Market, yeah.
Yeah,
in-
the bazaar next to Gastro Court. It's called
Yes,
Gastro Court.
for our listeners who are not in Novosibirsk, we have a wonderful Central Market in the middle of town where they sell all sorts of products. What do they sell there? What have you noticed in the market?
They sell meat, fish, condiments for food. And also Gastro Court itself, it's a place where you can find multinational food.
Mhm.
Like Thai restaurants, Turkish restaurants, French
really
restaurants,
good,
Swedish,
isn't it?
Syrian, yeah, from wherever like you want, except Algerian.
Unfortunately.
Maybe it's an idea for a startup.
Yeah, maybe I will do
We'll
it one
start a
day.
business.
Yes.
Maybe.
Well, for those of you who live in Novosibirsk, or for those of you who are visiting Novosibirsk, there's a great Vietnamese place in the food court at the market.
yeah.
Really good price, actually. You can get
Yeah, good price.
a big meal for about 300 rubles, which is really quite
That's
reasonable
cool.
if you think
Yeah.
about it, at least compared to the UK or to the US. So yeah, come to Novosibirsk, come and feed, come enjoy the
Eat
winter.
Vietnamese pho. Yeah.
Exactly. Come look at fart signs and
Mm.
enjoy the
And
city.
have your time, yeah.
Exactly. Anything new with you, Ur?
Yesterday, I learned my dog was attacked by a German Shepherd
No.
dog. Yeah, and
Wow.
he was hospitalized.
Oh, no,
and,
that's terrible.
Yeah, and he had like 6 stitches on his left
Damn, that's
cheek.
terrible.
And where is
Um,
your dog now?
in Istanbul at home.
I see.
Yeah, my parents taking care of him.
German shepherds are not usually
K9,
aggressive.
K9 dog. He was a police dog, and he was kind
Wow.
of aggressive. And he's living in our apartment in the base floor.
Mm.
Damn.
So,
Well, your dog's a bit older, isn't it?
yeah, it's 11.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn. That's
Yeah,
not very
and-
good at all.
And he was like numb all day yesterday, so we had like a free FaceTime video chats with him.
Yeah.
So it was kind of
Maybe
That's
Heartbreaking,
sad. Yeah, because our pets can be like more than our children sometimes.
yeah.
It's been a long time we had been together, like
But,
11 years, you know.
the German Shepherd was a police
Police
dog.
cop, like
Normally they don't
K9.
attack. Maybe he was rabid or something.
I don't know. My dog is kind of like a medium breed dog. Like, it's a
Ah.
beagle. So I don't know. Maybe my dog just barked him in a way, and
Mm.
he got it completely different. I don't know.
Damn, that's not fun at all. I'm
Mm,
sorry about
yeah.
that, man.
Thanks.
I had a student who this week told me that she was feeding a dog with her hands,
Mm.
and the dog bit her hand as it
Wow.
was feeding because it was a very hungry stray dog.
Wow.
Yeah, stray dogs are kind of unstable. You don't know
Mhm.
what are gonna do and when
Yeah.
are react in a bad way.
Exactly, and she had to well, she was in Kazakhstan, but she had to come to Russia to get good health care and to get checked up. And it's scary because some stray dogs can carry rabies.
Rabies, yeah.
For those of you who don't know what rabies is, it's a very nasty disease which involves, stereotypically it's foam at the mouth.
And you're afraid of water. You can't drink water.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
I completely forgot about that.
There is an interesting fact about this actually.
Yeah.
This virus knows exactly where it attacks.
Central nervous system.
Exactly, yes. And it's like they say it's highly intelligent. And it makes the dog afraid of water because this virus is sensitive to water.
Mm.
Yeah.
How strange.
Actually.
It's like really, it knows exactly where it goes, like in the brain, in a special place where it can control the dog and it controls its behaviors. It's like the dog becomes like a zombie.
Mm.
What a messed up virus,
Yeah.
really.
So now the question is, what if this virus develops to affect people? Are we going to be zombies?
Yeah, maybe that is where zombies
The
come
next,
from.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
next thing would be after COVID. Yeah,
Yeah.
a rabies attack.
Yeah. Well, touch wood. I mean, let's carefully touch the table, touch wood,
Mm.
which is our, yes, what we do in English or in English speaking countries and in Russia too. You
Yeah.
touch
Knock the
wood as
wood.
well.
We usually knock the
Knock
So
the
not
wood,
just
Christian,
touch it.
yeah, I think
Same in
it's a
Turkey.
Christian thing, is it?
No,
Or is it done in Muslim countries as well? Touching wood.
tahtaya vur.
No.
we
I think
call
it's I think it's like a Christian because it's about touching the cross or something.
We have a
Mhm.
saying like tahtaya vur, which is basically the same meaning like knock the wood in Turkey.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. Well, I just need to mention we had a wonderful speaking club on Telegram earlier this week where I was hosting a conversation about education, and you can find more information about that on our Telegram chat. We're also going to have another speaking club next week on Wednesday at 5:00 Moscow time, and it will be hosted, I believe, by Katya. So definitely check that out. And also, if you're loving these podcasts, you might want to join our after show special private chat. And you can find more information about that on our Telegram chat. And there you can find information about the words that we say in this podcast. So we have a vocabulary list that accompanies this after show private chat. And also you can practice your English writing skills in the chat and you can speak directly with us.
Sure.
Well, today's topic is quite an interesting topic. We're going to talk about extreme sports and extreme lifestyles in general.
Yeah.
For example, feeding the dog from your bare hand is kind of extreme for me.
Yes.
It's already extreme.
Maybe it's a new type of extreme sport.
Yeah, extreme tourism. Also, it's a thing. Yeah. By the way, extreme tourism.
Yeah. Have you had any experience with extreme tourism?
No, but I heard that many people, for example, are dreaming of going to, let's say, Chernobyl.
You're right, actually. Chernobyl's a whole tourist site. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe not right this second.
Or some
but
Japanese cities, affected
what is
by...
it? Fukushima, yeah?
Nagasaki
Mhm.
and Hiroshima. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
The Second World War.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you were
atomic bomb.
Of
Yeah,
course. I thought you were talking about the more recent.
and maybe more recent as well. Yeah,
Fukushima.
yeah.
Yeah.
Some people just, I don't know, maybe they got, what do they get? Adrenaline from visiting these places, and maybe it makes them feel more safe in their own life compared to what like these people
Appreciate
had
the life
experienced.
itself, maybe. Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I would love to go to Chernobyl. It sounds like a really interesting
Yeah.
place to visit.
But there is no radiation right now there, right? Like,
There's a little bit, but it's
so
you have to be careful where
Tolerable
you go. You have to have a
levels,
guide.
yeah.
Yeah. And you need to have this thing called a Geiger counter, which is maybe you might know. Is this
Mhm.
little device which you carry with you, and
The
it
X-ray
Yeah.
operators are wearing that in the hospitals mostly. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, so a Geiger counter.
Yeah.
I've seen a few videos of people going to Chernobyl and visiting it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so extreme tourism.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So what else can we consider to be an extreme sport or an extreme activity?
Golf.
Curling.
This is boring. So
Golf.
it can be considered like an extreme thing. So you just stay
Extremely
there.
boring.
Boring. Yeah, just.
Do you know what? Golf, I have to disagree. It is an amazing sport.
All right. Okay.
It looks, no, I totally get it. It looks so, have you played golf before?
Once, but it was so boring. I only just swing the golf club and all right, what is next? All right, move to the next hole. Okay, man. All right. So it's not for me, just walk. Okay.
Well, it gets really fun if you live somewhere like Florida and they have
Mm-hmm.
alligators, I believe. Crocodiles? Alligators?
Alligators.
Yeah, it's alligators.
Alligators,
there.
they say, huh?
Whatever. Yeah.
They're smaller.
Swamps.
Exactly. And then they come and eat your golf ball. And,
And then you have to fight with the alligator with your golf club.
Exactly, with the golf club. Though I have to disagree. Golf is amazing.
Okay.
It's so fun. You can't really play it in Russia because it's a little chilly
Mhm.
for that. But if you find an affordable golf course near you in America or in England, it's an amazing way to spend the weekend. So yes.
I think we can invent a new sport.
Let's give it another
Maybe-
try.
Maybe we can invent ice golf in Russia.
Mhm.
I think it actually
You need to
exists.
drill this
Yes.
hole.
Lake.
Just small ones.
Yeah.
Small ones. Uh-huh.
I believe it does actually exist. I've never played it.
Really?
Yeah. It might hurt because if you swing the golf club and hit the ball when it's really cold, it really hurts actually. Because when I used to play in England in the winter, it really hurt. Like it would send a shock up the shaft of the club. The shaft is the big metal part which holds the head of the club to the handle. It was pretty painful actually.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, so golf is not extreme.
Yeah, not too
It's
extreme.
posh, luxurious,
It is posh.
but not extreme. Yeah, speaking of extreme sports, let's say maybe rope jumping,
Oh yeah.
which I would totally like to do, but I just want to find a crazy friend, crazy enough to to accompany me.
Maybe. I'd like to do it.
What
So-
about wingsuit flying? It's
That
really
one looks
extreme.
amazing. I've
Yeah.
seen so many
Yeah,
YouTube
yeah.
videos.
It's like
of
when
that.
you don't have a parachute, or
Yeah, you just have some wings, and you fly.
Sponsored by Red Bull mostly.
How high
Everything is
are you?
sponsored by Red Bull.
Yeah,
It's not about how high. Like
extreme.
It can be very high, but once they launch, it becomes like a drone or like like a flying man or something like this.
Mhm.
It's actually a flying man or
so they're
woman.
flying or just floating.
They
Flying.
glide.
gliding.
Yeah, they're
Flying.
gliding, exactly.
Yeah.
They glide
And
in
it's
the sky.
extremely dangerous because they glide like near the surface of mountains, of such things.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
I watched one. I guess the guy jumped on the top of Burj Khalifa in Dubai, and two Emirates planes were just escorting him
Oh,
while
cool.
he was kind of base jumping. It was again sponsored by Red Bull, of course.
Red Bull really does have a
Extreme,
monopoly
yeah.
on extreme sports. Yeah. Well, speaking of Red Bull, I'm sorry, we're not getting paid. I'd love to get paid
Yeah.
by Red Bull. But they have a great show, which my wife and I recently discovered. It's called Soapbox Racing.
Yeah, that's great.
Have you
That's
seen the
man,
episodes?
That's great. The latest one, I guess, he got a record for like and flying like 20 seconds or something with the wings of boxcar or whatever.
Which city? Because each city. Okay, by the way, for our listeners,
Because it's a Leipzig or
soapbox
something, I
racing
guess.
may be in Germany. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So soapbox racing is, I would call it an extreme sport.
Yeah.
It's where
That's
you
fun.
build a
What?
kind of cart, like a kind of go-kart, and you have to go down a hill. There is no pedals. There is no
Wow.
On the wings.
engine, just
if you
only
like
a steering wheel. And you
Wow.
have to go down a hill, and it's like a car without an engine.
Yeah.
And it's really fun to watch. And I recommend watching this on YouTube.
Mm,
So Red Bull soapbox races,
that's cool.
because they have a lot of commentary, and this would be really good for your English listening skills. So
Yeah.
definitely check that out. It's
Red
really
Bull-
fun to watch.
Mhm.
Red Bull sponsor a lot of extreme sports. One of them is like one of my favorite is mountain biking. Like it's
Mm.
called
Oh, yeah.
Red Bull
Mhm.
Rampage.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Have you had experience mountain biking before?
No. But
It
I used to watch it a lot. They are
Cool.
like really crazy people. They go and they bike on the mountains.
Yeah, you can have some nasty accidents.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Well, I mean, in all extreme sports, they wouldn't be extreme if they didn't have nasty
Yeah.
accidents.
I
They're
have
not- they're
actually
not
a
safe.
question to you guys. Do you have any extreme sports originated in Turkey and Algeria, respectively?
I don't think so. No.
No, like the regular ones.
Maybe something with the desert? Something that they do in
yeah,
the
that
desert?
was-
That's Dakar.
We have
I guess, in
Dakar, but
Senegal,
that
yeah.
doesn't contain only Algeria. The
Algeria.
whole
Yeah,
like
sure.
Morocco, Algeria, Somal,
Mhm.
Senegal, I guess.
Senegal. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
these countries, with desert. It's extreme, but
That's a big adventure, Like
yes,
it's like,
Well, what about rock climbing? I'm sure you have some rock climbers in your country.
we have, but it's not famous. Like that's like you can say it's barren or something. Like people don't speak about it a lot. Not like in, for example, United States.
Mhm.
They are really like
or in
do it.
Australia.
Yeah,
they love it
exactly,
there,
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, rock climbing is really cool. It can be dangerous, of course, as with any extreme sport. But it's
Mhm.
pretty cool, and you need to be really fit to do it. You need a
Mhm.
special body type to be good at rock climbing.
We need to be balanced, and
Yeah.
it's the way it should be, just proportional, Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, what else can we mention? So mountain biking, rock climbing, golf,
skydiving.
skydiving. I've never been skydiving before. Have any of you tried it?
I don't know.
Almost.
Almost. What happened?
I had a chance in Turkey, and
There.
my student's mom was an instructor, and she invited me to do it, but I couldn't go.
In Eskişehir. In where?
No. I was teaching in Bursa in that time, Bursa,
Okay.
and the place was, I forgot the name. Kaş.
You mean the southern part of Turkey?
Yes.
But close to Antalya.
Kaş. Yes.
Okay.
Kaş.
They
Like it has a
do
beautiful
kind
city.
of extreme sports over
Yeah.
there, like paragliding
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
everything. Cool. Why didn't you?
I was afraid. Come on.
Okay. It's fair enough. Fair
I
enough.
would love to try it. Of course, it's scary, but I'd
Mm.
love to try it.
Yeah. Why not?
But what about bungee jumping? I've never done that.
Me neither.
Me neither. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to bungee jumping or rope jumping. I actually don't know the difference, actually. But
Oh, of
Some
course,
kind
yeah,
of
you've
jumping.
mentioned, yeah.
Mhm.
But I actually, for some reason, think bungee jumping would be scarier than skydiving.
So in bungee jumping, you bounce back, yes?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then you're like going down and
And
up like, several times.
But for some reason, it just seems scarier bungee jumping than jumping out of an airplane.
For me, it doesn't. I don't know. Maybe it's because you are a fan of aircrafts.
Well, it's true.
It's just it doesn't seem dangerous to you.
Well, putting my love for aviation aside, I think maybe it has to do something with like the perspective of the ground and
Mm.
and your relation to the ground. I don't know.
Ground
But,
seems solid.
But
Yeah.
speaking about safety, I think skydiving is more dangerous than bungee jumping, because bungee jumping you are like tied to a rope and people
Yeah.
like check it, double check it.
And they
But
will pull you.
Mm.
yeah, if something
up.
if something happens with your parachute, there is no way back.
And also, a lot of people
They are
break their
falling.
legs when they
Yeah,
come back down to the ground.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I'd definitely love to do it. Well, another extreme sports that I used to do all the time as a teenager was skateboarding.
Yeah.
I loved to
tried
skate as a teenager.
rollerblading and skateboarding.
Oh, cool.
yeah.
When you say rollerblading, was this the inline blading, like where you do the tricks and stuff?
Inline blades like this, and you jump, back jump, flip
Cool.
jumps, and everything. So I used to do it like I'm 15, 17 years old, between that range. That was cool.
Yeah.
Parkour, maybe?
Parkour.
Parkour, yes,
Have you tried?
that is-
I tried it when I was
No.
teenager. Yeah,
Oh, cool. Did
it's
you
very dangerous. Really,
Yeah.
it seems simple, but it's very dangerous. You can break a leg like very easily.
easily? Yeah.
You need to know how to land after you
Exactly.
make
For
that
me, I
jump.
bit my tongue, and I was bleeding.
Oh, damn.
When I landed, I bit my tongue.
That's not fun.
Mhm.
Yes. Imagine, it was like really extreme.
Yeah.
Cool.
You jump from one roof to one roof.
Well, there's so many different types of extreme sport, but why do you think that people like to indulge in extreme sports?
That's an interesting question.
It's fun.
It's not about fun only. It's something psychological. It plays a role in proving oneself. All right. For example, there are many people who want to be shown, like who want to confirm their identity, that they really exist. They have, like, for example, what is the meaning of life? This question rolls in their like mind, and they want to remember what they did in this life. Like, okay, this is like something risky. I want to do it to remember it. It's something special that makes me feel special, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I think you're
Many
right.
reasons. Yeah.
Yesterday I was watching one episode of one of my favorite TV series, and I came across this phrase. The guy said, like, you need to push your limits once in a while because it makes you feel alive.
Exactly.
So if
yeah.
you push
exactly.
your limits,
Exactly.
you feel like you are kind of
Or out of
reborn.
existence.
Curiosity. You just want to know what's gonna happen if you try something in extreme level, and you just do it. That's
Exactly.
it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, what is the worst thing that can happen? We can die.
You can crash. You can die. Yeah. Why not?
Or some people just like that adrenaline rush, like Ugur said.
Yeah.
Do you
It's
like
fun.
adrenaline rushes?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
used to. I'm kind of okay with that still. I'm okay with that, but I don't have any chance
Yeah.
to push myself that much, I guess.
Well, yeah. Well, do you like going really fast? I love
Yeah,
going really fast. Yeah.
I'm speed fan.
Need for Speed. Yeah.
Yes.
Speedy Gonzalez. Yeah.
I don't like going too fast, especially downhill. Like if it is flat, it's fine. But if it is downhill, because I have some bad experiences.
Well, what happened? Did
For
you?
example, when I was a child and I was running downhill, I just fell badly, very badly. And it was like I was rolling and rolling several times and I hurt myself, injured quite badly. And also when I was learning how to ride a bike downhill, I fell down several times. Yeah.
BMX biking, that's also a great
It's
extreme sport, you know.
It's pretty nuts. Yeah.
Back in the days, we had something about speed. I remember it when I went to the Algerian Sahara. We had some dunes, and actually, it's not a sport. It's just an activity that people do, and it doesn't have a name, but it's just an activity. So when we climb a dune and we want to go down, we run maximum speed on the sand. Like we run down the dune, and it gives you a feeling of flying. Really, you cannot stop, and your legs start moving by themselves. Yes, and you feel like you have no control over your body.
You feel like you're floating.
Yeah, and it is completely safe. Why? Because when you fall down or something, you fall on the sand.
Yeah.
Like
You
there is
just
no rock,
eat
there is
some
nothing.
sand.
Oh,
and
that's a nice.
Yeah, on your eyes
sport.
also. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that feeling when I felt it, it gives you like that adrenaline rush and like there is something greater than you in this world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, adrenaline's it's quite the
addictive.
addictive
Getting adrenaline
substance.
is addictive.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about communities? Would you say that it would help you to be part of a community?
Yeah, sure.
I would definitely
People
agree.
want
Yeah, I
to
agree
belong,
with that,
especially
yeah.
teenagers. Yeah, and not only teenagers.
Or clubs, like motorbike clubs or auto-tuning clubs.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
gather and you just roll together. Like, and that's kind of...
Yeah. When I was, I guess, when did I start skating? It was around 13 to about 20.
Mm.
Yeah, I used to go to the skate park like at least 2 or 3 times a week, and everyone would be there together. It was really fun.
You have your group of friends and you hang out
Yeah.
together. You eat together after that. Yeah.
It was really fun. And part of being a skater, you do stupid things, and everyone used to love doing stupid, crazy things like annoy security guards around town and cause all sorts of some people did graffiti, some people did stupid stuff, even worse stuff, but it was really fun, and I kind of miss being a teenager because of that.
Yes.
It
would be great. Yeah.
And everyone could join together as a community, unite in their stupidity.
Yeah.
I think I will do that soon. Today I was teaching my student, and he asked me to help him with his CV. And when I saw his volunteering work, he belongs to a community of planting trees in Novosibirsk. And I asked him, can I join? Like, if I want, like, do you have a link or something? He said, later I will send you a link. You can join us and you can plant trees, you know? So it's a good activity. It's not extreme, but anyway, it's...
Well, being a lumberjack, which is the opposite of planting trees, is quite extreme.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of jobs and not so much about sports, what jobs would you consider to be extreme? So lumberjack, so the person who cuts down a tree. What other jobs would you consider to be extreme?
ER resident?
ER resident, or someone who works in a hospital.
Yeah.
Oh, of course, yeah, because ER in America, they say that. In England, we say A&E.
Accident and...
Exactly, accident and emergency. But ER,
emergency room.
Exactly, yeah. So
military service, military,
absolutely.
Police and such things.
Police,
Firefighters.
Yes.
Firefighters, of course. Firefighters.
You have to be really fit to be a firefighter.
Yeah.
Well, in the police, what types of police officers do we have?
SWAT.
SWAT is the most extreme. And I love watching videos on YouTube of SWAT teams raiding houses and dealing with domestic idiots. And
and they draw guns to SWAT members. So that's kind of
it's a really scary job. I have nothing but huge respect for SWAT teams because they put their life on the line every time. But apparently a lot of the time they just sit and wait.
Yeah.
I believe someone made an abbreviation for SWAT. It was like sitting, waiting, and maybe twiddling thumbs.
Tweeting.
And tweeting. Because most of the time you're waiting for the negotiator to deal with the idiot inside a house. And
if it doesn't work, they just get in.
Yeah. Yeah. And the funniest thing is the way they get in, they have this special tool, which they use to...
Bullhorn, right?
Well, it's funny because at least in England, they have a special slang word for this tool. They call it the key.
The key, all right.
The key opens the door. But
they must bust into it,
yeah. But I have real big respect for SWAT officers because that's scary stuff and you have to be in really good shape. Well, do they have SWAT? I guess they must have SWAT teams in Algeria.
Of course. And it's pretty scary when you see them. One day I was like a high school student and we had a weird neighbor. And that neighbor had 2 children and he didn't raise them well because we were like looking at them and he was forcing them into doing things, you know. Then anyway, he got divorced and the kids stayed with their mom and one of them went rogue. And he joined the ISIS in Syria.
Oh dear.
Yes. Nobody knew that. And I was sitting next to my house and out of nowhere, like trucks, like squad came, I was scared when I saw them. Wearing all black and everything is black. Even the mask, they don't show their faces with Russian guns like AK-47.
It's really hot outside.
Call of Duty, yes. Like Call of Duty. And you have when they raid the house, it was really scary when I saw them. We call them special forces. You don't see them so often unless it's very dangerous.
They're kind of hidden.
Yeah, but the way they appeared from nowhere. I didn't know how they appeared, just like this, fast, like lightning. Yeah.
That's really cool though.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, in America they call it SWAT. In England we call it CO19. It's a division of the police force, and most police officers in the UK don't have guns. I don't know what your opinion is on that, but regardless, the CO19 are the only officers that have, maybe not the only officers, but they can use guns and they're expert. Marksman. A marksman is someone who can
I heard about
shoot.
them. Yeah, I heard about them.
Exactly.
Rifleman. Yeah.
Exactly. And they are the equivalent of the SWAT team. And normally the police officers in the UK, they wear, the funny hats.
Yeah, the black one with
the helmet kind of things. Yeah. But the CO-19, they wear like baseball caps with like checker pattern around it. It's pretty cool. Well, in Russia, you have Amon. Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot to say about police forces, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, I'm wearing some shoes, which I've mentioned in previous podcast episode, I believe. Amon shoes. So I have SWAT officer shoes, so I can walk in the snow in Siberia.
The perfect grip. Yeah.
For me, I have a huge respect for such people. Really, their job is very risky. I saw a documentary about them, like police officers and such things. In front of you, they appear like strong and everything, but when they are alone, they are really, sometimes they have psychological problems of fear, for example, one officer in the United States, he said, when am I going to die? I'm waiting just like every day, every time they call him on the talkie-walkie, he expects to die because that neighborhood was dangerous.
Yeah, it's a lot of people criticize the American police, and sure, of course, you have some, let's call them bad apples, which is a good idiom. We have some bad apples, of course, in every police force, but it's scary being a police officer.
Yeah.
And especially in America, where people can just pull out a weapon against you, and anywhere really.
Yeah.
And people don't really understand where they're coming from, because just imagine if your job every day, you walk up to a car and you ask them to lower the window and they just shoot you. It's scary.
So, which means that all people, or maybe almost all people who have extreme jobs are deeply traumatized.
Of course. Yeah.
And I think the same can be said about their families, because it's also kind of an extreme lifestyle to be a wife, or to be a husband, to be a partner of
they have to be ready.
A person who has this
For
job.
example, whenever your husband is going out for work, you have that possibility of not seeing him again.
Another thing I need to mention is that we have an earlier podcast that we published called Urban Life. So dangers in urban life. So definitely check that out if you're interested in hearing about crime and other urban dangers. So dangers in urban life. You can find that on our website, www.BigAppleSchool.com. So yes, police officers, respect. What other jobs can you think of?
Extreme jobs.
Yeah.
Risky jobs. Maybe.
Someone who works in sewers. So sewers, like underneath the city where all the toilet water goes to.
I also think that any job can be considered extreme depending on the location. Maybe, for example, once I read a story about a young woman who went to work as a music teacher, but in Afghanistan.
That's funny. I've also watched an English teacher who went to Afghanistan as well.
And it was really extreme.
By the way,
she spent a couple of years there.
By the way, Afghanistan is the most dangerous country in the world. I made research 2 days ago about it, and Afghanistan was on the top list.
I'm not surprised. I thought maybe Somalia.
Yeah.
Which one do you think, Somalia or Afghanistan? They're probably the same.
Same, I guess.
Somalia, I don't think so. It is dangerous. They have that Boko Haram, something like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think it's that dangerous.
Boko Haram's all over Central Africa.
Mali, yes.
And Nigeria.
Yes. But I don't know who made this research and who made the statistics, but on every webpage I visited, it's Afghanistan. And now, currently, by the way, it's funny, they mentioned Russia on the 5th place.
That's so strange.
That's not true.
So silly.
That's not true, yeah. Ukraine second, something like this, yeah. But
it's so silly, yeah. A lot.
It's a stereotype. No?
Yeah.
I mean, definitely in the 90s, Russia, Maria can attest to this, definitely was a dangerous place.
Yeah, but I didn't feel it like a dangerous place. I just didn't analyze. I didn't know. Now, looking back, I can say that, it was. And it's strange how I survived and how many people survived, because it was, you could get robbed just in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
And
now it's funny because it's safer than London, which is really funny. If you go to Paris or London, you're more likely to get robbed. Yeah. I don't know about the statistics, but it definitely feels that way, having lived in both places.
Yeah, one more reason to visit Novosibirsk apart from fart barbershop and what else? Gastro court.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, it's safe here.
Yeah, we are a good example actually.
Yeah.
British man, Algerian, Turkish. We are foreigners living in Novosibirsk, and
We are all okay, guys.
Yeah.
So no
fine.
much adrenaline in Novosibirsk.
Yeah. Well, also maybe some of our listeners know I went to Chechnya in was it late August? No, it was late July last year in 2022, and it says on the US government website, "Do not go to Chechnya.
There's a
You will
travel
be-
advice.
You will be kidnapped and killed."
Chechnya, yeah.
And the extreme. I went there. Everyone was really friendly, and there was just no problems. Maybe because I stuck to the city of Grozny, and I got in a marshrutka, being the little minibus, and traveled to Dagestan. But I did not feel in any kind of danger at all. But I wouldn't want to, for instance, make a criticize like a restaurant. Let's say if there was bad food at a restaurant, I would not want to send it back maybe in Chechnya. But nonetheless, it's not like a dangerous place in the sense that
it's
people.
not extreme. Yeah.
You just need to like follow the rules, to show the
Exactly,
respect to the culture. That
You have
is-
to blend in with the society also.
Yeah, you do. Because when I was on the little minibus back from Dagestan to Chechnya, because I had to fly back to Novosibirsk from Chechnya, there was this lady on the bus with us, and she was wearing just a normal vest, nothing crazy. And as soon as we got off the bus, these men came up to her and said, "You need to respect our traditions and put on a shirt that covers your sleeves." And yeah, they're very religious, but you have to respect that. It's the
if it's the thing, you need to follow, as Maria said.
yeah, you have to respect the rules. But yeah, my wife was wearing like a long dress which covered her sleeves, which had sleeves which covered her arms and everything. So they're very conservative, but as long as you respect
all
it,
respect. Yeah,
it's okay. It's not a problem.
I see.
But I definitely recommend check it out. It's a really cool place to visit, and yeah, it's off the beaten path. So yeah, Chechnya tourism, give me some money, please.
So they are promoting for Red Bull and Chechnya. You will get rich.
Red Bull Heroes. Yeah,
North Korea is also a strangely kind of popular tourist destination. I would love to check it out. What about you?
No way.
No? You wouldn't be
North
interested?
Korea is where there is that mad dictator.
Kim Jong-un.
No, that's not an option for me.
But it's an interesting country. Really, it's fascinating. I mean, Maria, would you be intrigued just to see
No,
a bit of North Korea?
thanks. I mean, I was born in the Soviet Union, so
Did
I
you
guess.
see? Did you see what happened to that American guy who went
Otto
there?
Warmbier?
Yes, they
Otto.
killed him at the end. They sent him to America and they sent him sick. They injected him with a virus, maybe.
Yes, he had a neurological
Yes.
But he
virus.
stole the propaganda poster on the wall.
He did.
But anyway, like
That was his fault, you know. So
the punishment
he
was
was told.
extreme. That's an extreme
yeah,
punishment.
that's. I agree. I agree.
Oh, very extreme
Yeah.
indeed. But nonetheless, he did break the rules or the law, I guess
Yeah.
you can say. And he was made to apologize, to give a tearful apology on public TV.
In the courtroom. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That was.
But I
extreme.
would still love to go just to see it.
Yeah.
And one thing that's really interesting I've noticed is that in Pyongyang, the capital of North Korea, their metros, Novosibirsk has the same metro as the trains itself are the
And the
same.
stairs and everything.
Because Pyongyang's metro is actually beautiful. They've done it up in a beautiful way, and I guess they've bought some trains from
Russia.
Soviet days.
There is actually a metro station here with I think the name of Kim Jong or on it. Like there is Kim Jong on the wall that he visited that place.
Well, here in Novosibirsk.
Yes, I saw it.
Seriously?
Yes.
I have no idea
I
what
don't-
you're
you have to tell me where
Yeah,
this is.
I'm gonna ask my fiance again, and because I was with her, and
No way.
yes,
That's
it's not
so cool.
it's not so far actually, the metro station. And I said, why is his face here? She said, he came here one day, and they write the date and everything in Russian.
That
I
is
guess
so cool.
Air Korea used to fly
Yes.
directly to Novosibirsk from Pyongyang, I guess.
Seriously? There was a direct flight?
Yeah, I watched a
Koryo.
documentary about the history of Air Koryo.
By the way, Air Koryo is the national airline
and one-star airline.
Of-
That's
of-
one of the one-star
of North Korea. I don't know why it's 1 star. I've seen reviews. It's a beautiful,
Yeah.
but it's just really old planes.
Old planes, maybe
Yeah.
that's why. Tupolevs are they're still playing with Tupolevs. I
Yeah,
guess,
exactly. The old ones, yeah.
Mhm. Do you
That's
consider
Maybe that's
cool.
why.
Yeah.
do you consider North Korea's lifestyle as extreme?
What do you mean, visiting the country or?
No, as a
Everyday
citizen,
lifestyle. you
as a
mean.
citizen of North Korea.
Well, of course, it's pretty
yeah,
extreme.
they're living
yeah.
like on the edge.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah. I mean, obviously, we can't know everything about the country, but at least from what the Western media says, it's a pretty extreme lifestyle.
Yeah.
So no one can know 100%. No one can be 100% sure what goes on behind the
Exactly. Yeah.
walls, but yeah, I'm sure there are some not very friendly people, and yeah,
Kim Jong has an extreme sport of his own, launching nuclear missiles. Like
exactly.
Pastime
Testing
activity.
Japan.
yeah. He threatens Japan all the time.
Yeah, nuclear.
It's like a game for him, just want to make someone nervous. It's like a game.
I guess it is. I saw a video of Kim Jong-un flying an airliner, and which is really
He's a man
funny.
of taste, So he's extreme himself.
And
he don't. Yeah,
of course, the pilot next to him was flying the plane for him,
he
but
was posing, showing off, right?
it was really funny. Yeah. So yeah. Well, any other dangerous places or jobs you can think of? Well, South America, there's a lot of, and Central America, there's a lot of dangerous
Dangerous
destinations there.
diseases. for example.
Diseases, yes.
Mm.
So I can think of El Salvador as a pretty dangerous place to go to.
I
Salvador.
think that most people consider like the whole continent of Africa to be extreme or dangerous, because many people actually think that Africa is a country. Like
Very big
One
country,
big
yeah.
country, yeah.
To be honest, yeah, unfortunately, there are some very dangerous parts. Well,
yeah, there are, of course.
but I'm
Some
not sure
unknown
everywhere.
parts, some like deep forest, for example. Yeah.
Well, even the more,
Jungles, yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
well, even the more developed countries like South Africa are still quite dangerous as well. I had a student who somehow he traveled all the way from Novosibirsk to Cape Town on his 2-week holiday,
Interesting.
which is a long old trip. You have to go from Novosibirsk to Dubai to Cape Town. Long flight. It's like 15 hours plus the waiting time.
There are many
And-
accidents there actually concerning shark attacks.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
sharks. That's definitely an
My
extreme
aunt's-
activity.
My aunt went there and she was put into a cage, like iron,
Yeah.
like filled with iron. And the sharks were trying to bite her around, but she was protected, of course. So imagine if
So
someone
cool.
finds himself like someone who is not experienced and he's swimming there. So
Every place can be considered extreme, yeah, depending on the point of view. Like Australia
Australia
with
is the- yeah,
insects,
Australia.
spiders,
Uh-huh.
whatever.
Lifeguards we can consider as an extreme occupation. Lifeguarding,
Mhm.
maybe.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Yeah. You have to-
Guys, when you came to Russia, did you consider it to be extreme?
I thought in a little. I mean, not
Your friends
the
think that you are
temperature, yeah.
risk takers?
well. If you, I guess now with the global events, a lot of people have completely different views of what Russia is. But to be honest, being here is not as extreme as people would think it to be. The weather is pretty extreme for sure.
I have a couple of friends, and every week they just text me, all right, are you still there?
Are you still there or are you still alive?
Yeah, are you still there would be better. So yeah, I'm here. I'm okay. Everything is all right.
me too. Before I
And-
came here, everybody was saying, "Oh, but Russia, it has war." Like they were like really trying to terrorize me or something. But I said, reality is something different from what you see on TV. So I came.
Yeah, it's
and
completely
here I am.
different.
I'm
It's-
not only speaking about like this current political situation. I mean, like many
Even
years
before, yeah.
Generally, yeah.
ago, also it was the same. Like Russia, cold, frozen land.
Yeah, it is
Forever.
extreme. I would love. Well, speaking of extremities, I'd love to go to Yakutia and see what that city's like in the winter. Just to say, it's just more of like a personal thing. I just want to say I've been in the minus, whatever it is, 50, 60.
Yeah.
For a couple of minutes.
For a couple of minutes. Maybe take off my shirt and get a picture, a little selfie. Yeah.
And then hypothermia. Yeah.
Well, would you consider England to be an extreme place?
Tell us how it can be.
I don't know.
extreme.
Maybe you might
Yeah.
spill a cup of boiling tea on yourself.
There is one thing.
Actually, you were talking. I remember we had some podcast, and you said that you were mugged several times.
Oh,
here,
yes.
and
Same
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Istanbul, same in
It is
Turkey. Yeah.
quite
it happens in
extreme.
everywhere.
For me,
yeah.
it would be an extreme thing, to happen. Like
What
it's
about the hooligans?
Hooligan. Do you know what? The hooligans have kind of died out a lot. They were really big in the 90s, the 80s, the 70s, maybe the 2000s as well. But recently, they've kind of calmed down a lot. There are, of course, some old school, like proper hooligans.
Yeah.
But now in Russia, they've kind of taken the British bulldog image and they've become like the real
Hooligans.
serious
so-
hooligans, but they don't drink the Russian football ultras or ultras, as you say in English. So unfortunately, it's not the same, or fortunately or unfortunately, depending on your perspective. Because they were, they did have like a whole community. And speaking of, this is relevant to the topic.
yeah,
Because-
because I guess they do it for the sense of belonging.
Yeah.
Community, yeah.
So I feel like
Identity.
they this brotherhood or something.
Yeah, go smash up your the opposing team's heads and 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 then get a bit drunk and what a great way to spend your weekend.
By the way,
And you don't remember it afterwards. Sorry.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Not speaking about extreme sports, but sports in general, the most dangerous one is football. Imagine.
Oh, really?
Football, they said, yes. I was surprised because it has more injuries than any other sport.
Maybe if you compare like the amount of people who play football with other sports, I mean, you
Yeah.
have more injuries because more people play football.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. But this is how they stated it on the net.
Well, yeah, I guess because of the statistics. Maybe
Yeah.
if you look at it in terms of percentage of players to injuries, then
And even die, actually.
yeah,
In many matches.
Motorsports, we can say too.
Racing, yeah.
The racing,
car
the
racing.
motorbikes,
Absolutely.
and, like
Yes.
car racing, whatever.
Well, I've got a little question just to wrap up this podcast. Would you put your life in danger for a stranger or for a loved one?
Depends.
I mean, we have a
For-
choice between a loved one and a stranger.
Well, let's say there's
Or-
like a little girl on a highway or a motorway.
Oh, come on, don't do that, man. It's just. So
Are you going to go help her?
Of course I do.
Or are you going to just let her get
You
squished?
can't ignore that kind of scenery, you know.
Yeah.
If there is something that you can do, I think you just must, because how can you move on? How can you live on after this, knowing that you could, but
Mhm.
you didn't?
And you
do
question
anything,
yourself every
like
day.
how to look in the mirror
Yeah.
after this.
You're
And
right.
For the loved one, yeah, of course, like
course.
no doubts. I mean, not only risk life, but give the life if necessary.
Would you give your life for you? I mean, I don't. If it's a little girl in
I mean,
the road
not right
next to me,
now,
yeah.
but
Of course.
But I guess
Actually,
as
this
men, are
question,
kind of,
this
yeah.
question, nobody can answer it unless you find that person in that exact situation. I can say yes, no, and I can say no, right?
Hmm.
But I think, speaking about me, if I see something like this, my body reacts automatically. One day I was walking with my friend in Turkey and he was almost hit by a car, and automatically I didn't even feel how I did. I didn't risk my life because I was in a safe place, but he wasn't. He was like talking on the phone and he was headed me by some centimeters, and the car was coming fast. Okay, and if I didn't pull him, he could die. But the reaction was automatic. So now, if I was in danger and there is a little girl there, would I react the same way?
Yeah.
That's the question.
That's questionable because
Unconsciously.
Yeah, what if I'm just paralyzed with fear?
Exactly. Uh-huh.
What if I'm petrified? What if I think of myself as a better person than I actually am?
Yeah. And for a loved ones, of course, I would.
Yeah, loved
Right.
ones, you have to be blind.
Yeah, you
and
have. Yeah. You do it without any thinking.
Well, guys, stick by.
And also, yeah.
That's all right. Yeah, I would do the same
Also,
thing.
I think that this when adrenaline can help because you get this burst of adrenaline and your body reacts faster and
Exactly,
better
yeah,
because
exactly.
people can do incredible things
Yeah.
with this hormone. Is
like
it hormone or
picking
whatever?
up a car. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or jump like 2 meters high.
Well, guys, stick by for the after show portion of this podcast. And thank you very much for listening to the end. And we definitely want to hear your comments. If you have suggestions for future podcast episodes or you'd like to just practice your English skills, definitely leave a comment in the Telegram chat. So that's it for today. We'll see you in the after show.
See you.
See you.
Bye
See
for
ya.
now.